Hey, it's Joe with Amalgam. I'm here excited to show you another one of our templates. This time it's a review and reconciliation package and dashboard for if you're reviewing financials. Let's say you're closing a month or a quarter or a year, you want to see outages, things that need to be fixed. All of that kind of stuff's here, and it really starts with this dashboard tab. And you can see if I scroll down, there's just a whole set of different things that we can look at. So if I want to see large transactions, if I want to see missing vendors, if I want to see inconsistent accounts, things to that nature, I'll be able to pull those up through the template here. And really how it works is you come in, let's say at the end of a month or a quarter, and you've got your dates set here. These dates are then flowing through the other tabs. So you can see I've got 1/1 through 3/31. And then that's pulling through. These green cells are saying I've got a global variable for date end, date start. So if I came here and I wanted to do, let's say we want to do 4/1/2025 through 6/30/2025. We can do that, right? It updates it. And then if I hit run report, it'll run this GL for us, so you can see that's been updated. And just in structure of these tabs, these black tabs are all the download from Amalgam tabs. We've got, this is the data that is pulled by Amalgam. You saw that clear out and then repopulate. And then I have a handful of columns here that are lookups. So what's over $5,000, what's a missing vendor, all of those types of things. So I'm just going to flip it back for us so it'll be consistent. So we'll go back to this, and I think we had 3/31/2025. If I jump back here and I just hit the run report, you can see in these cells it always stays. We never get that overwritten even when the data changes. And this is a lot of what's flowing through our dashboard. So the top here is uncategorized. I'll come back to that. But and the second significant monthly change, I'll come back to that. But large transaction review, this is what we were looking at before. We've got some larger transactions here. Anything over $5,000 is what we're qualifying. And then that's what's flowing through on this tab here, the over $5,000. So I can change that if I want it to be over $10,000. You can see that it flows through and only this comes through. And even here I have that changing right up here. But let's go back to $5,000. Those are the transactions that don't fit. Same thing with missing vendors. It's looking across all of those data sets to find. So we've got, looks like 4 transactions with missing vendors. So it's going to tell you those, and then it's a check, what's the date, all of that kind of stuff kind of flowing through. Similarly, inconsistent account checks. So if we have a vendor that's in multiple accounts, so like for instance here, MRO Furniture is falling into furniture and fixtures, and it's falling into office shipping and postage, that's probably incorrect, right? So you have the instructions to go kind of look at that. And then yeah, those are the ones that are kind of flowing through the GL. Here's another one for newly created contacts. So there's a vendor and customer. We've got one new customer, Los Pollos Hermanos is new. We've got a handful of newly created vendors. That's in the customers and vendors tab. So if I want to go back here, I can look up quickly kind of which are the new ones and see what's maybe inconsistent. So all of these black tabs are the raw data. You can come here and re-download it. So if I want to re-download this customers, I can just hit download and it will download the latest for me, just like that. Los Pollos, I think, is falling within the time frame that we had, the 1/1/25 through the 3/31/25 time range there. So this is just pulling down as we go, and it will give us a new population of all the customers that maybe have been created new. So there you go. We didn't lose our formula. It's still pulling up the same information, and we should be able to see that in our dashboard tab as well. So let me flip back over here, and then you can see that pulling through as well. So vendor customers would work the same there. Took you through the inconsistent account check, the missing vendors, and significant monthly change. We can take it about that. That's really looking up just a straight P&L and balance sheet. So I have a P&L and I have a BS tab here. What we're doing here is we're setting a threshold, 20% and over $2,000. So if I wanted it to be 10%, it'll lower that threshold. Looks like nothing's there. 10%, and let's do $50. You can see any account that's changed by more than $50, which is the amount here. So everything's over 50, as well as the change being 10%. So Always good to say, okay, we want something that's over $2,000 to kind of limit us. If it's 20%, anything less than 20% and $2,000 is going to show up. Same thing here on the balance sheet. In this case, my threshold is just 10% with no dollar amount. So any of my balances change month over month is over 10%. That's going to be something that's a concern for me. So that's what it's flagging here. If I change that to 50%, you can see that we just get one account. If we change it back to 10%, there you go. You'll see we've got those others. So that's kind of significant monthly change, really lets you flag if I've got an account where something's been stray or just increasing a lot, it forces a conversation about it, right? And then the third bucket here is this uncategorized check. So, a lot of times your team might be putting things in uncategorized expense or assets or income. You can select which accounts you want to look up here. So in this case, I just have the uncategorized, but I can switch and change that. And then I have this different tabs here. So the uncategorized expense tab, these are the three that's come through. This is our transaction reclassifier tool. The beauty of this is that I've actually pulled it down. But if I want to change it, like this manual membership fee, let's say, should be into a subscriptions. If I have a subscriptions, there you go, memberships and subscriptions, I can change it right here. And then I can select my action to be upload. And I can sync that right into my GL. So then what will happen is this will actually update in the GL and it will no longer be uncategorized. So that's a really great thing right there, is I don't have to go into anywhere else. I can find that it's an issue and I can resync it. So when I download, it should be able to pull in the fact that this annual membership one is no longer uncategorized. I've got my filter on this side here for uncategorized expense between that time range. So it should pull in and just be that straight amount. It's always a little bit slower when I share my screen and do recording, so it's thinking a little bit harder than normal, but you get the idea. And there we go. We've gone from 3 transactions to 2 transactions for my uncategorized, and it flows through in the front. So you can do that for uncategorized expense, asset, income, whichever one you want. Like if this is income is not the right account I wanted vehicle expense, let's say, and then this one is going to show up and say vehicle expense, as you'd expect. So that's how we've got it flowing through. And that's our template here for the review package. Really think it's a great one and got a lot of feedback from the customers. It really came from customer feedback where we built this one out. So yep, that's my template. Any questions, you know where to find me. Thanks so much.